Welcome to Chapter 10. This training will cover Meal Service Overview. This training is presented by the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs, also known as ODE-CNP. In this training, we will go over meal service requirements in CACFP, the different styles of meal service, including restaurant style, cafeteria style, family style, combination restaurant and family style, and offer versus serve, field trips, and sharing tables. By the end of this training, we hope you will understand the basic requirements of meal service in CACFP and know the different styles of meal service. Meal service is the act of providing meals to participants. In CACFP, all required meal components must be served together in sufficient amounts to meet minimum portion requirements. All meals must be supervised, and point-of-service meal counts must be taken when a fully reimbursable meal is received or offered. Depending on the style of meal service, procedures may vary. There are several different styles of meal service, including restaurant style, cafeteria style, family style, and combination restaurant and family style. In restaurant style, meals are served like a sit-down restaurant. All meal components are portioned and served on the plate and in the cup for each participant. The minimum portion sizes of each required component are served together to each participant at the beginning of the meal. In this style, point-of-service meal counts are taken when all meal components are placed on the table and participants are seated at the table with a complete meal in front of them. Cafeteria style is similar to restaurant style, except that instead of sitting down at a table and getting served, the participants go through a line and pick up all meal components themselves. The minimum portion sizes of each required component must be picked up by the participant by the end of the line. In this style, the point-of-service meal counts are taken at the end of the line when the participant has the fully reimbursable meal or snack. In family-style meal service, participants sit down at a table and all required meal components are placed on the table at the same time in communal bowls for participants to serve themselves. The minimum portion sizes of all meal components for all participants at the table must be provided in the communal bowls. This means that if there are 6 participants at a table, there must be enough for 6 portions of each meal component. A supervising adult must be seated at each table. In this style, the point-of-service meal counts are taken when all meal components are placed at the table and participants are all seated. For more information on serving family style, check out the Family Style Meal Service training video. Sometimes full family style meal service does not work. This is usually in cases where participants are unable to serve all meal components themselves. In this case, a combination restaurant and family-style meal service can be used. Individual food items are served either restaurant-style or family-style, and items that are served restaurant-style are provided with the full minimum required portion to each participant, while items served family-style are served communally and meet all family-style requirements. For example, if you are serving a group of 2 to 3-year-olds who are not ready to pour milk yet, you can serve them their fluid milk restaurant style while serving the rest of the meal components using family style. This is a good way to ease children into family style meal service. For this style, point-of-service meal counts are taken when participants are seated at the table with all meal components on the table. In addition to all the meal service styles, we also have offer versus serve. This meal service option is only allowed for at-risk after-school and adult daycare sites. In addition, It's also only allowed for breakfast, lunch, and suppers. It is not allowed at snacks. In Offer versus Serve, participants are offered all meal components and are allowed to decline a certain number of food items or components. For breakfast, participants must be offered at least 4 different food items and must take at least 3 different food items. For lunch and supper, participants must be offered all 5 meal components and must take at least 3 different meal components. Point of service meal counts are taken when the participant has taken the minimum number of food items or meal components required. For more information on Offer versus Serve, check out the Offer versus Serve training video. Now it's time for a quick knowledge check. Which meal service option is restricted to at-risk, after-school, and adult daycare sites only? Is it restaurant style, cafeteria style, family style, or Offer versus Serve? The answer is Offer versus Serve. All others are meal service styles that can be used with all site types. Meal service is expected to take place at approved sites only unless ODE CMP has approved off-site consumption for field trips. In order for meals served at field trips to be reimbursable, a sponsor must submit a request via email to their assigned child nutrition specialist at least 48 hours prior to the date of the field trip. Requests must be approved by the specialist, who will then send an email approval back. This approval email must be saved by the sponsor. Meals and snacks served on field trips must be supervised by trained sponsor staff. Point of service meal counts must be taken for all meals and snacks served on field trips. In some situations, it may make sense to have a sharing table. A sharing table is a sanitary location for participants to leave food items they do not want to eat so that another participant who wants additional servings can take extras. These share tables must be located past the point of service meal count area. It is important for site staff to only allow packaged products to be left on the share table for sanitary reasons. In addition, make sure that you are checking with your local health department to see if this is allowed in your county. This may vary from county to county. In this training, we covered the basics of meal service requirements in CACFP and went over the different styles of meal service and the Offer versus Serve meal option. In addition, we looked at requirements for field trips and sharing tables. ODE supports equity and excellence for every learner. This institution is an equal opportunity provider. Thank you for taking this training.